I'm going to give you an overview of the California Department of Transportation. Also, I'm here representing the other 49 states and DOTs, so I'm going to try to also cover that a little bit as I'm going through my presentation. I'm the Office Chief of the Office of Emergency Management for the California Department of Transportation. Within my office, I have emergency operations, homeland security, hazard mitigation, grants, pandemic flu, maintenance facilities. We had 1,000 buildings, 365 maintenance facilities, stations. Somebody that takes care of sustainability. Somebody mentioned resilient design. Here, continuity of operations and continuity of government, hazmat, winter operations, and avalanche control. There are 4 phases of emergency management, as you all know. At Caltrans, we prepare for all the phases of emergency management. The Caltrans mission, as some of the other DOTs as well. Too fast?
No, do you want me to move these slides for you?
Thank you. You're awesome.
We cooperate.
Yeah.
Herby and I have done a lot of stuff together, so yeah.
It's just we were in China, right?
We were in China.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Caltrans has admin orders from the governor's office. We don't need to get permission from the governor to do anything on our transportation system. Transportation is so important that, this is slide number 3, sorry, we'll go back one more.
There you go.
That we just go out and we do what we got to do to get the infrastructure back in its place. The Caltrans emergency response, in response to emergency disasters through Cal OES, hopefully you all know that in some of your states it's called an EMA. My state, they went back from EMA to OES, Office of Emergency Services. So through OES, Caltrans will assist other agencies and local authorities with the restoration of function and mobility to affected cities and county critical infrastructure. Caltrans will also carry out mission tasking. Mission tasking is pretty important for you guys to know what mission tasking is. We can't do anything off the state highway system, so if there's a capability that we have that you want, you go to the governor's office and he gives us permission to work off the state highway system. And I'll show you in a couple seconds here why that's so important. And every incident, disaster starts at the local level and graduates up. Okay, a few years ago, the state of California adopted the federal model. The federal model is emergency support function. At the state of California, we started organizing around emergency functions. The state emergency plan has adopted this. And in fact, emergency function 8 for us is a public health and medical annex. It gives guidance in there as to what the health and medical sector will do for the state of California during emergencies. Hopefully you all know what NIMS, ICS, NRF, NIPP, all those acronyms are. I'm the state of California EF1 coordinator and also the US DOT Feds ESF1 coordinator for California as well. California functions that Caltrans, emergency functions that Caltrans supports. Aviation, airspace management control, transportation safety, pipelines, rail, waterways, restoration, recovery, transportation infrastructure, movement restrictions, damage and impact assessments along with traffic conditions. We prepare road information and displays, and we assist the California Highway Patrol and local traffic agencies to regulate and provide signage and staff. We also have a cadre of 700 licensed engineers in what we call the safety assessment program that's trying to get people back in their homes post-disaster. You may think of it as red tagging, yellow tagging, whatever home. Someone mentioned flooding. After a flood event, we'll go in and assess a home whether it has mold, or after an earthquake if the structure is still sustainable. Sorry, did I skip 1, 6, 7? Okay, Caltrans capabilities and assets. We have architects and engineers, maintenance, field operations, aeronautics, telecommunications. Telecommunications might be something that you want to chime in on, because during a disaster, if you can't talk, you can't call for help, and telecommunications for us is the backbone of emergency management. And I have a slide that we'll talk about that in a minute. Traffic management, right-of-way, and real estate assets. Again, slide number 9. Yeah. Architectural engineering services. We're a bunch of engineers. We're a department that's about 22,000 people. We have, 3,000 engineers. We have hundreds of architects. We have mechanical engineers, surveyors, you name it. We're a little construction company with the governors. Look at it this way. The first 3 days of a disaster, they're going to come to Caltrans. So we're not the California National Guard. We're not superheroes or whatever, but we do have some capability that the governor can tap into to try to restore infrastructure, whether it's on our state highway system or trying to get people back in their homes. Again, maintenance field operations, emergency traffic control and incident access, establishment of alternate corridors. For you guys, that's really important. You try to get, let's say, something for pandemic flu or some pandemic through. You can try to get the California Highway Patrol or somebody else to help you with that. But if you need to punch, get debris out the way and this and that, they have guns, we have dozers, so keep that in mind. Aeronautics. Medical emergencies is a subcategory used for primary airports. We license all the general aviation airports in the state of California. So again, medical emergency subcategory used for primary airports and is intended to classify the general aviation activity that occurs there. The use of an airport by fixed-wing air ambulance aircraft to transport medical patients, accident victims, transplant organs, and vital supplies to hospitals. And this serves remote regions that are not practicable, for helicopters to get to. Telecommunications, we have everything, state of California, Caltrans, from Morse code all the way to the most sophisticated telecommunications, like what you see here is called the Cal Satcom, and Cal Fire, which is an agency that takes care of the fires for us on a statewide basis. They tap us all the time to use this piece of equipment. We have, 20, 30 satellite phones in there, cell phones. This is something that you may want to use in your response or recovery needs, and you can give us a call through the mission tasking process. Procurement and warehousing. We have a lot of real estate. We're probably one of the biggest real estate owners in the state. So to give you an example, what you're looking at here is one of our drivers. Caltrans provides drivers to assist in the movement of emergency supplies around the state. We've helped the Red Cross and others set up cooling and warming centers and locations for mass evacuation. And that's a pod just filled with emergency supplies, medical supplies. And these were stationed all over the state. And when there was an earthquake in Mexico, our governor donated some of these pods to the government of Mexico. And we do have emergency contracting with pre-qualified contractors. Traffic management, again, you can't get anywhere without getting on our roads. So many states have traffic management centers. It's important that you're aware of that so you can route your goods to where they need to go and your people. Right-of-way and real estate assets. Again, our DOT is one of the biggest real estate. You may want to set up some kind of post-event. Let's say like what happened in Haiti. They had areas where people set up hospitals. We have 400 maintenance stations all around the state. And the state does have other properties that you could use to aid in whatever health services that the population might need. GIS, we're capable of producing any type of map that you may need. One of the buzzwords lately has been emergency and disaster supply chain. For example, where's the water and how's it going to get to point B, C, or D? So knowing where the goods are at and where they're going to go and tapping into their transportation resources is pretty important. And just give you a case study real quick. Newcastle disease a few years ago. Caltrans has wash racks, and what wash racks are is just like you wash these gigantic vehicles, right, that are in the state highway system. So we have wash racks. We were mission tasked by the California Office of Emergency Services to wash these vehicles that carried chickens, fowl, or whatever, to make sure that this disease doesn't spread. And also, Caltrans can also help to direct traffic to staging areas that are set up to help with, let's say there's a dirty bomb. And we have tons of plans. I can't get into all this here, but we can direct traffic along with the California Highway Patrol because people will take shortcuts. So in all your plans, make sure you include law enforcement. So we'll direct traffic to certain areas for decontamination. And this slide may be of interest to you. California Department of Transportation Hospital and heliport data plates. This webpage, also available in hard copy format, provides permitted approach paths and other information for all the permitted hospital heliports in California. This information is valuable for all phases of emergency management in response to medical emergencies, especially in response and recovery. Now, real quick, pan-flu planning. The next page, yeah. Caltrans has its own pandemic influenza response plan that addresses operational needs in the event of a major outbreak. And as you know, back east right now, in Sacramento alone, we've had like 20 deaths. I don't know how much statewide. The California Office of Emergency Management, this is the statewide concept of operations for pandemic flu. We helped them with this plan a few years ago, and they received a lot of money in grant funding because transportation was key in them getting that grant funding. So CalOS administers most of our disaster and homeland security and mitigation funding in our state. So, hopefully, again, you guys know whether you're EMA or OES, what they can provide. And this is some of the stuff that's in that plan. what we should do to prepare, such as outlining essential transportation services, cleaning and sanitizing methods for transportation systems and cargo, communication plans with others, instruction to our workers, prepare distribution of education materials to keep transportation assets clean, respond, determine how vaccine will be transported to vaccination sites, and this is something we do with the California Highway Patrol, and the path to recovery is outlined in this plan as well. I was the chair for the pre-event planning guide for transportation. I think this is something, or kind of a document you're trying to create here, and we had a need a few years ago to develop this document. So again, I hope some of the stuff that I'm providing will help. There's an entire section on grant funding within this document, and the gentleman this morning from the American Planning Association, we referenced several of his documents in this plan, including Planning for Post-Disaster Recovery Next Generation, October 2010. And very last slide. And my very last slide, following the earthquake in Haiti, Caltrans engineers and other professionals wanted to go and do something in Haiti. So one thing is clear in this country, people will always close the gap that governments can't. And my very last slide, okay, simply put, we've got a lot of stuff. Just figure out how we can help you accomplish your mission during disasters. And I don't know if some of you know who Lucy Jones is. She's a seismologist in California, and I've talked to her a lot about certain things. And one thing that I always take away when I talk to her, that changing the mindset from acceptable risk to preventing or mitigating for that risk, and that comes down to people's lives, right? I mean, one life. You know, do you go put guardrails somewhere? You know, so if you go to other places like China, where they don't have, or they don't, I shouldn't mention China, but a piece of guardrail that can save somebody's life, they blame the person for hitting that obstruction or whatever. Where in this country, we'll put up that piece of guardrail to save that life. So that's it. Thank you.
Man, you know.
That was fast, huh?
Well, it's not that. It's just like you got a lot of stuff, bro.
There's more stuff too. But,
and I don't think most of us realize how much stuff guys like you all have.
Well,
I can't wait for the question period. Captain Lynn Slepsky.
Slepsky, unmerited, right.
Did I say it
Don't
wrong?
blame me,
Did I say it
unmerited.
badly? It's Slepsky.
Slepsky.
Why did I mess it up?
That's okay.
By the way, just so you'll know, you're the Senior Public Health Advisor, the Office of Intelligence, Security, and Emergency Response, Office of the Secretary of Transportation in the Department of Transportation.
Correct. So